Hi guys. Okay, we're going to get to read again. This is our 9th reading, and let's check out and see where we left off. So here we have the history of Dry Creek. So they did kind of like a picture history. So here we have 100 years ago, Spring Creek settled. 75 years ago, Spring Creek farmers harvest record yields of rice, melon, and cucumbers, and the population triples. Things are going good. Spring Creek becomes fish farming capital of the United States. Vacationers come to Spring Creek to see exotic flora and fauna. 50 years ago, Spring Creek's golden era. Industry thrives, fish farmers flourish. Spring Creek named one of top 10 most exciting cities in U.S. by Wow magazine. 30 years ago. Spring dries up. Residents shock. Spring Creek renamed Dry Creek. Farmers suffer worst year on record. No melons. New middle school opens. Aquatic birds change migratory patterns. No longer spend winters in Dry Creek. 25 years ago. Businesses leave town in record number. Many lifelong residents pack their bags and move to Springfield. Today, most businesses close. Population at lowest level in 85 years. Dry Creek named one of top 10 most boring cities in U.S. by Yawn magazine. At least the swimming pool is still open. Ooh, we've got a confidential fax. It says read and destroy. From Dry Creek Swimming Pool, crystal clear all year, temperature controlled, year-long fun. A fax sent on February 7th at 2:53 p.m. to D. Eel, president of Dry Creek Water Company, from Sally Mander, chief executive officer of Dry Creek Swimming Pool, regarding the fountain. D. I'm sorry I called you a drip the other day, but this whole fountain thing makes me nervous. And how many times do I have to tell you not to talk about that you-know-what in public? You never know who might be listening. Would you please keep me updated on where we are? Regarding the fountain, I mean. Sally. End of transmission. A jewel of a pool. And here's the private note back to her. From Dry Creek Water Company, where clean water is a D. Eel, bringing you the very best water for 30 years. Delbert D. Eel, president. February 8th, Sal. Apologies for the drip remark accepted. I was over at the school yesterday trying to patch things up with Walter Russ. He insists the leak underneath the fountain can't be fixed. And of course he's right. Still, I'm trying to convince him that all he needs is a super-duper sponge mat installed on the floor near the fountain to, as I put it, absorb the excess sweat produced by the condensation of the fountain. My new strategy? Confuse him until we can think of something better. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like the leak is getting worse, i.e. stronger, all the time. I'll try to get over there every morning before school starts so I can mop up around the fountain base. There is one good thing to report. From what I've heard, Flowing Waters Fountains, etc. still hasn't submitted a proposal for the new fountain to the principal. Do you know anything about this Florence Waters character? Let's try to dig up some dirt on her. Also, see what you could do to stall Principal Russ. You know, give him the old runaround. You were always good at that, Sal. D. Here's a letter from Sally Mander, Chief Executive Officer of Dry Creek Swimming Pool, February 9th, to Mr. Walter Russ, Principal of Dry Creek Middle School. Dear Mr. Russ, this petty squabble we seem to be having over a small, insignificant fountain really is silly of us, isn't it? Especially now with Dry Creek days quickly approaching. Speaking of which, I have an idea that I think will delight both you and the charming students at your lovely school. Instead of squandering our precious resources on something foolish like books, desks, or a new drinking fountain, why don't we buy something the children will really like? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? That's right, ice cream. We've never had ice cream at Dry Creek days before. Wouldn't this be a nice treat for children of all ages? Instead of spending the money on a new drinking fountain, I vote for ice cream. In fact, I scream for ice cream. And talk about quenching your thirst. There's nothing like a cold ice cream cone to do the trick. In fact, it would be my pleasure to buy you an ice cream cone sometime, or even a sundae. Do you like banana splits? I know I do. Mr. Russ, may I call you Walter? We don't see nearly enough of one another during the school year, and when we do, it's a shame to spend it arguing over small, silly things like leaky drinking fountains. School will be out in a few short months. Surely the leak, really, it's more like a little puddle, around the base of the drinking fountain will dry up during the heat of summer. Let's you and me toast our new friendship with a tasty ice cream cone and some delicious conversation. Drop me a line and we'll arrange a time and a place. Your friend and admirer, Sally Mander. P.S. Do you like to go swimming, Walter? Who doesn't, right? I am enclosing a summer pass to my swimming pool. Look forward to seeing you. So here is the pass. Sally Mander's Dry Creek Swimming Pool. Swimmer's name, Walter Russ. Good for summer swim. A jewel of a pool. And here is a memo from the Dry Creek Middle School. Date February 11th to Goldie Fish from Principal Walter Russ regarding the fountain. I'm leaving an audio tape of 2 letters I wrote. Well, I dictated them anyway, this morning regarding the fountain. Please transcribe and mail the letters today. You may need to work through lunch. So here's the first one of his letters that he transcribed. So you could see down here, it was written by Walter Russ, but put on the paper by Goldie Fish. So here's Dry Creek Swimming Pool, or Dry Creek Middle School, Dry Creek, Missouri. We thirst for knowledge. Mr. Walter Russ, Principal. February 11th to Miss Sally Mander, President of Dry Creek School Board, and care of Dry Creek Swimming Pool. Miss Mander, I do not think it would be wise for us to meet for ice cream, be it cone, sundae, or banana split. And no, I do not think the students of Dry Creek Middle School would be better served by ice cream instead of a new drinking fountain. The condition of the fountain worsens daily. I slipped in the puddle again this morning and nearly broke a lower vertebrae. I am proceeding with plans to install a new drinking fountain just as soon as I receive the bid and design plan from Flowing Waters Fountains, etc. Firmly, Walter Russ, Mr. Walter Russ, Principal. And tomorrow we'll read the one that Goldie Fish transcribed to Miss Florence Waters. I bet we could guess what that's going to be about. All right, I'll do another story tomorrow. Bye.